any company can run completely without developers. You think that?
फ्यूचर में शायद ये नहीं होगा.
You can even search the code in chat GPTs and other AI tools, but
Yeah,
it's
these.
a big deal. But how to implement the logic is what
Yes.
I think.
I personally started thinking about this. Like previously, I thought creative fields में तो नहीं जाएंगे, but फिर realize वो creative fields में सबसे ज़्यादा जा रहा है.
AI, in some time, AI can develop another AI.
Hi Kuldeep, hi Somadev. Welcome to Sharpener के Sher. I think it's been a very long time since I've had two shares in the house. So today I think
Thank you.
I'll leave most of the talking to you guys. But before anything, I just want to clarify, like, when did you guys come to know each other? Because you weren't friends from beforehand, right? So how did you guys come to know each other?
When I was selected into Pluto's and I received my offer letter, I think it was Pooja ma'am who was in the middle of us and Pluto's one. She notified
Okay.
that there is one more guy who is also selected into Pluto's one, and then I contacted Soumyadev, and so as I am from Noida, so it was nearby, around 35 kilometers from me. I have seen the location before, and I was talking to Soumyadev, and Soumya wanted to know that what kind of location it is and how far he have to stay from there. So then we came to know about each other, and that was the first time we
Yeah.
talked to each other.
All right.
Since it
Okay.
was my since it was my first job, I was very kind of nervous. So and it was my first time to getting shifted to a new city, new job. So he helped me a lot, Kuldeep, actually at that time.
Okay.
It's
Kuldeep, you're
not.
from Noida, you said, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Somadev, you said like this is the first time going away to a different city. What is your background from? Where are you from?
So actually, I'm from Lucknow.
Okay. But you're a Bengali,
My
right?
Yes, sir. Actually, my father was in government sector. He was posted in Lucknow, so we have to live in Lucknow. But
Got it.
we hail from Bengal region.
Got it. And Kuldeep is giving me the entire Haryanvi vibe, like with his beard and everything, and his tone also. Kuldeep, you've been born and brought up in Noida only?
Yes, sir. It is a nearby district called Aligarh. I don't know if you have
Aligarh,
heard
huh?
about it.
Of course,
I was
Aligarh
born
किसे नहीं
there,
सुना?
and when I was a kid, my father moved to Noida for his job and his career, and along with him, we also moved there. And my basic
Mm-hmm.
education from primary to my graduation, I have done it in Greater Noida and Noida itself.
Got it. Aligarh, of course, we've heard. Like AMU is a very popular university also.
Yes, sir.
Uh, so because of
Because there are
that,
lot of colleges in Greater Noida. I think around 150 engineering colleges are there in Greater Noida right now.
okay, let's talk about the initial part of your education. So both of you have done BTech, am I right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Which fields was it in?
I was in mechanical engineering, and I have also done MTech in mechanical engineering, which, which was
Okay.
completed in 22, and that was the time when I thought about switching to IT, because in the lockdown I faced some things. I was already working in mechanical field in manufacturing sector, and there
Okay.
were some things which were not good, and some of my friends were in IT, and I saw them working from home, and their work was not that much affected by the lockdown, and the time at that time they were doing pretty good, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why I think that why should I not switch to IT also, and that's when I started looking for placements and training courses. So during 23 June, I think I joined Sharpener. Before that, I have also researched many other platforms, and I did not like them very much. Sharpener was the one I liked, and I joined it.
Lucky for us. You said that you completed your MTech also, so it must have been a very tough decision. I get it at that point of time, 2022, IT was in a big boom. But right now, if you look at the layoffs and everything that is happening,
At that time, ChatGPT was introduced, and it was like a very big boom. And in the field of data science and machine learning, it was also
Mhm.
talk of every mouth at that time.
Right,
But in I think in 23 from the starting, we saw recession and a downward trend. But uh, at last, we got a job. That's what matters, I think.
right, of course. Do you miss your mechanical days? Because you were working there, the nature of that work, your core field.
Actually, I am even today. I am connected with my core field. I have
Okay.
some machines which I own, and I keep working on some
Mhm.
projects in my free time at weekends. And if I get some time, I am connected to that field even now, even today. So yes, I miss that sometimes, but it's not that big of a deal for me.
Okay. Yeah, I think the first Meg graduate who is handling both the things together. Professionally you're handling that and passionately you're handling your machines. Interesting,
Yes.
Kuldeep. We'll know more about you. What about you, Samadhi? Your background?
Yes, sir. So I am also a computer science engineer, and I graduated from Chaudhry Charan Singh University. It is situated in Meerut. So I actually did
Mm-hmm.
my engineering from Meerut. So at that time when I was in my last semester, the time was of peak recession and we didn't have any idea about that. And I kept on applying everywhere. There was no use of applying at that time. But that time, one of my friend, he was in Lucknow. He suggested me to keep to search for a pay after placement course. So that's how I started my research on these courses and found Sharpener through a Quora post,
Mm-hmm.
and then I applied for that, and that's how I started my journey.
So, but in your case, since you were from a computer science background, that means that you were already aware about coding. Like you were already in that practice. So, starting to code was not such a big jump for you like it was for Kuldeep, right?
No, sir.
I have done C programming in the first year of my engineering, which was in 2013. I was doing some programming in my mechanical engineering. There was a subject of CCP, C programming.
Uh-huh.
So I knew the basics, which were not fresh for me at the time when I joined Sharpener. So it was like starting from zero for me.
Um, Way back in 2013, 2014, when you did coding for the first time, उस समय लग रहा था that okay, this is an interesting. You might choose this as a career field someday.
Yeah, actually, I was very much interested in programming. I even thought about switching to CS branch in second year, but seats were full in my college, and
हाँ,
so I continued in mechanical. But I was very much interested, and I was even planning to switch before I joined a mechanical job. I was planning to switch, but I got a college placement, and I started the job, and I never got the chance before Sharpener, I think.
got it. I think this is a very good comparison between you guys. At times I do podcasts with non-CS folks. At times I do it with CS folks. So it's good both of you are here together.
Yes.
Uh, nice comparison हो जाएगा. When you were learning in Sharpener, did your college concepts also come in handy, or did you feel like here a lot of
Yeah.
things are new?
No, no. Few things were, see, in computer science we have already all the subjects that help us in coding.
Mm-hmm.
So I already had knowledge of database and other things, how programming works, how SDLC software development works. But when I joined Sharpener, I learned how to implement those things in real life situations, in projects,
Right,
which was which
right.
was lacking when I was in college. In colleges, they don't give that much attention how to practically implement your knowledge on computer science. But this course helped me to get hold on the practical way how to implement it.
Got it. Was job the primary reason? Like you felt your college will not be able to provide good jobs, and that's why you need some external help. That was the main reason.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. But in your final year also you do some project, right? Like that also keeps you busy. What did you do a project on?
Sir, so my project was a blood bank management system.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was a good project. I learned a lot from that, and that project was my teachers also told me that that project was good. But the scene was that at that time no companies were coming in my college. The
Mm-hmm.
companies which were coming that were of testing and other things, and I didn't want to start my career with those fields. I wanted to start as a developer.
Okay.
So I,
Okay. Got it. Okay.
yes,
You
sir.
came with that. I think in that both of you have that sorted. Like it takes a lot of courage, right? Taking a pause and then again waiting, studying, then getting a job. Let's talk about a bit of the preparation phase for you also, Kuldeep.
Yes.
How was the initial phase like? Suddenly come into the world of coding.
Okay, so when I started coding in Python, the first part was DSA. For DSA, there were 4 or 5 main languages which we can prepare in. So I chose Python because there was a hype in data science and machine learning. So Python used in that. So I chose Python and I learned Python. Started DSA on Python, but then when we moved to Node.js and JavaScript modules, then I learned JavaScript. So at that time, I was thinking that it was a waste of time to learn Python, and I should have started in JS itself. But when I joined Pluto's one, I was given a project which is AI chatbot and which is
Python is
totally
used.
Python. So
Yeah,
eventually, it was a plus point for me that I learned Python, and right now I am working on Python and front end is React. So I am working on both technologies, and it was luckily it was not a waste of time for me.
got you. And initial phase, like I think when you're starting off with coding, DSA is the toughest part also. And unfortunately, you have to learn it at the start only because that's like
Yes.
the foundation. उस समय बहुत टाइम लगा था लग रहा था कि बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है.
Actually, I had spare time in those days, so I give it a lot of time, around 4 or 5 days per day in the beginning.
4 5 hours
Then
per day.
I was working in a company at that time also. So after the DSA was completed, I got the time I had on hand was reduced to 1 hour, 2 hour, like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was slowed down. Uh, DSA was not too hard for me. Actually, I was giving it a lot of time and working really hard for that. So DSA was, I would say that it was not too hard, not too easy. It was just, I was working for it and I understood it.
How long did it take?
DSA, I think I completed the DSA part in 1 month, one
Oh,
5 month
that's
maximum.
very fast for someone who's like shows how much hard work you put. What about you, Soumya?
Sir,
Whenever you were studying seriously, like how long did BSA take for you?
sir, I also took I think 1 month because I was able to grab those concepts
Okay, so you
quickly.
think Kuldeep also did a
And
fine job completing it in one
yeah,
month?
it was a very fine job. He is a quick learner.
It was a necessity to switch to IT, so I had to do much harder work.
One thing, one thing I would like to say that in DSNA, the sheet which you people give, that helped a lot.
Yes, definitely.
That sheet helped a lot.
That sheet is generated by student feedback only. Like I think when we started with a set of a few of our own questions. Like I have taken interviews for my companies, not so much with SDs because I switched to product management, but the other founders, the other top mentors, they were, of course, in the industry, in the software side. So for this reason, we knew a lot of the questions which we used to ask people. So that's how it started. After that, students like you, they kept on suggesting कि अरे वो company ने ये question पूछा, वो company ने ये question पूछा. We kept on adding it everywhere. We saw what was repeating, if trends were changing or not, and that's how that sheet was created. बोलते हैं ना क्राउड फंडिंग हुआ है वो शीट क्राउड फंडिंग से ही बना हुआ है
Okay, I
तो
would like to add
yeah,
another thing to that. There are some people which are working with us right now, and though some people have experience of around 2 years, 1.5 years, but
Yeah.
somehow they do not have a good grasp on DSA. So
Mm-hmm.
they are giving interviews, and the first round usually is DSA round. They are getting rejected, and they are coming back and telling us the interviewer asked this question. It is very hard, and how am I supposed to do it? So uh, I feel like DSA, we did DSA first in Sharpener, which was a very good thing because
Mm-hmm.
in future when we are going to give interviews, DSA will be the first round. I think almost everywhere.
Yeah.
So we are
hmm,
suggesting. I personally suggested two people to start doing questions on lead code and gigs for gigs. So DSA was very helpful.
Yeah. Actually, yes.
nice. All right, okay. After the DSA comes the development part. Soumya, which one did you go for first, backend or frontend?
Yeah. I went for backend.
Okay, any reason why backend?
Sir, uh, I felt more towards backend.
Mm-hmm.
In front end, I started doing some initial projects on that, and when the part of CSS came na, I was like, no, this is not for me. I should go to backend. And in backend, I mostly that is logic building and everything, and that part which gets me.
Okay, but CSS was the problem. You do not like designing and all
Yeah,
these things a lot.
actually yes. I don't like designing.
Okay, even in Sharpener we have developers. Some people just do not want to work on design.
Yeah,
Like whatever
I
I'll tell, they'll
I
make
feel
that.
that. I
But
feel that.
I think people have a mindset, Kuldeep, that front end will be a bit easier because they associate it to the design part. Back end is a bit more tougher. Did you also think like that?
Sir, I am working in the chatbot project. I think that's somewhere true because front end you can see what's working, what's not working, and you can change the design, and people can suggest what to make, what color to choose, where to move the button, what radius to use, everything else. But in backend you have to build the whole logic, and there are security concerns also, and scalability also greatly depends on backend itself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the most of the logic of a project or app depends on the backend itself. So I think backend is like backbone of a project, and front end is the face. So it works. I think I have to learn a lot. I think I.
What about Sharpener projects? Like any project that you guys feel was the most impactful in terms of learning?
So both of the backend projects were impactful because
Yes, right.
those two are the things which got us into the job. We
Okay,
were
you want to
solely
explain that a
hired.
bit?
We were solely hired on the basis of the project.
The projects were really helpful. Actually, the expense tracker app in which we did everything from backend, APIs, CRUD operations. We also deployed
Mm-hmm.
into AWS.
AWS. Yeah.
So there was
Mm-hmm.
a bit of DevOps also. It was a
Right.
all-around project. All the things were included which are being done in industry right now. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a complete package, and the other project commercial website, and those were also helpful. Projects
Chat
were
project was
really great.
also
Yeah,
the chat
chat
project.
project and
Yeah.
introduction to WebSockets, that was also
Yeah,
very
yeah.
helpful.
Web sockets was very helpful.
Okay. Chat, so you're using it even like right now you're creating a AI chatbot, right? Kuldeep,
Yes,
you said.
yes, right.
Or both of you are working on that project in
No,
Plutus?
No, no,
sir, I am
Soumya is
project.
different.
I am in different project. Sir, I am working in a BBPS TSP project. So we are building a technical service for the BBPS payment system.
What is BBPS?
So Bharat Bill Payment System. So
Okay.
it is RBI's what we can say.
RBI's initiative to provide a
Yeah,
gateway for bill payments.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Actually, we pay any bills on Paytm, PhonePe, etc. Most of them uses BBPS gateway for payments of bills, to fetch
Mm-hmm.
bills, etc.
So
Okay.
this is BBPS. Actually, they are the ones who initiate all the bill payments related to RBI. So
Mm-hmm.
and they cannot work on their own. They need some technical service providers uh, which act as a median between agents like PhonePe, Google Pay, etc. and the billers. For example, we pay bills on electricity bills and other
Mm-hmm.
rents. So we need a server that acts as a median between these entities. So that's what I am working in.
Got it. Okay. Just like payment gateways need a bank
Yeah, yeah,
to complete that. Similarly, you
yeah,
need
yeah,
BBPS.
yeah. You can
Got it.
think like that.
So, what is your role there
So
specifically?
they have already built a backend for that, but that backend was not very much optimized and everything. So now I had worked on optimizing that. The whole code structure, I can say that I have changed it. They were not using good techniques and everything. So
Did they expect this part? Like, you're a fresher, so were they
no,
expecting you to do?
they didn't expect that. They now even tell me, how did you learn that much time? No, that much things in that less time. We are 1.5 years experience, 1 year experience. We still don't know that techniques.
Okay. तो फिर उस शार्पनर का तारीफ करते हो?
बिल्कुल
पता
बहुत
है हम
ज़्यादा
सबको कि शार्पनर से है.
या actually
बढ़िया.
we have a
Hmm.
colleague Rahul. He is also from Sharpener and he also
Okay.
is
He is
doing
working
good
for
job there.
9 months.
Got it. Okay. ठीक है. Interesting. Interesting. Kuldeep, coming back to you, जो chat का project तुम बना रहे थे. So,
जी सर.
is it similar तो नहीं होएगा, but does it use a lot of things which you learned from the chatbot project which you are making over there?
The front end part is totally on React, so it is what I learned. And backend is somewhat different.
Python.
We are using Django for API
Mm-hmm.
and request response, and there is a Rasa framework which runs the chatbot itself and its logic. Mostly it is in Python, but I think in Django the logic is similar, somewhat similar. There are something different as Django uses built-in databases and ORMs, but
Mm-hmm.
the logic is, I think, came from the logic I learned came from Sharpener, the projects I
the
worked on.
the the main thing is that the logic building, I think the logic
Yes, the
building is what
logic
we
is
need to learn.
what matters in a project.
Yeah,
If you can understand the logic, if you can build the logic, you can code
you
from
can
there.
even you can even mm, search the code in chat gpts and other AI tools, but
Yeah,
you
these
can't.
days writing code is not that difficult.
Not a big deal, but how to implement the logic is what
Yes.
I think the most important thing.
Got it. ठीक है, it's interesting you refer to ChatGPT. Let's talk about that for a minute. Um, what is in, मतलब, I think ChatGPT is been around for almost, the public version is around for over a year now. The beta version for almost 1.5 years. Very curious to understand when you guys were preparing, उस समय जो चैट जीपीटी यूज कर रहे थे versus as a working professional, you must be also referencing the help of any of these LLM models. So how is the difference उस समय जो यूज कर रहे थे ना अभी जो यूज कर रहे थे?
सर प्रिपरेशन के टाइम पे जो यूज़ कर रहे थे वो बेसिकली कोडिंग के लिए नहीं था. वो था मैक्सिमम क्वेश्चंस के लिए, क्वेश्चंस के आंसर्स के लिए, कि इंटरव्यू में कैसे क्वेश्चंस पूछे जा रहे हैं, उनके क्या आंसर्स हैं. मैक्सिमम उधर सेंटर्ड था. या कुछ कुछ जैसे फ्रंट एंड में थे तो जैसे CSS वगैरह का कुछ इशू होता था, रिएक्ट वगैरह में कुछ होता था। तो मैक्सिमम मैंने जो यूज़ किया वो थ्योरेटिकल पार्ट के लिए यूज़ किया, प्रैक्टिकल कोडिंग के लिए कम था यूज़। अभी जो है राइट
हम्म,
नाउ, अभी कोडिंग के लिए भी यूज़ कर रहे हैं और थ्योरेटिकल के लिए भी। और मेरे प्रोजेक्ट में तो अभी एक इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का इनिशिएटिव है भाषनी करके, वो भी AI बेस्ड है ट्रांसलेशन के लिए। तो जो चैटबॉट हमने डेवलप किया है वो पहले हिंदी इंग्लिश में था खाली, अभी उसमें 17 लैंग्वेजेस हमने इनकॉर्पोरेट किए। तो उसमें चैट
ओके।
जीपीटी का भी रोल है और भाषनी एक गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव है उसका भी रोल है। और AI का तो हैविली यूज़ कर रहे हैं हम। और अभी फ्यूचर में प्लानिंग है कि हम LLM भी उसमें हम लेके आएंगे। हमने लोकल पे टेस्ट भी किया है उसको फाइन ट्यून करके और अपना कॉन्टेक्स्ट वगैरह प्रोवाइड करके RAG जनरेशन के थ्रू। सो
हम्म,
इट्स गोइंग गुड। और उसमें चैट जीपीटी आई थिंक आई यूज डेली।
चैट जीपीटी
got
इज द
it.
मस्ट।
Okay. What about, but you guys are saying ChatGPT is a must, and you said that you're also using GPT in your products also. What about the new LLM that is launched by Bhavesh Agarwal, Kruthrim? Did you guys get to know about that? Ola launched
Actually,
their own.
I have heard somewhere about
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but I have not used that. I have used latest models provided by Google, which is called Gamma. Meta is also working on some models. The most
Mhm.
popular is Llama. Llama 3 is
Llama.
latest released, right? I think last month. And there
Mm-hmm.
is also models by Microsoft. The lightweight model
Gemini.
5.3 is also launched. We are working on all these. I just named all these models. We are working on them.
Where do you compare all these? Like, is GPT in the front or is Gamma also good? Like,
Actually, the thing which matters most right now is GPT-3 is I think 175 billion parameters model, and on
mhm.
these models, 5.3 is 3.8 billion model, and Llama 3 is 8 billion, around 7 to 8 billion model. These are there is a lot of difference in comparison of the parameters on which they are trained, but the latest 5.3 model is very good in response generation and in mathematics also. 5.3 model is top notch in its segment. And if we use some models like llamas, there is a 75 billion model which is at par with
Mhm.
ChatGPT. It is I think in next model or next version it could be better than ChatGPT 3.5, and it would
Mhm.
be in size, it would be less than half.
I mean, Google always has an upper hand, right? Because it also gets real-time data,
Yes, yes.
which, for example, ChatGPT, OpenAI doesn't get. Beyond your use case, because you guys are asking general purpose stuff for codes, not dependent on the current data. Do you feel at any point of time OpenAI will be able to like match up to that quality because they're not getting real time data? लगता है कभी शॉर्टेज है कुछ प्रॉब्लम है.
There is some
Uh,
shortage, I think, in chat GPT.
yes, there is. Because the responses the LLMs can generate is always dependent on the training data.
Yeah.
So if a model
Mhm.
is trained in 2022, it can only generate a response based on the
That
training
data.
data which was provided. But
Right.
there are updates and models are getting updated daily. Also, there is also a trend of RAG generation, which is retrieval augmented generation. The model is trained, we can provide it with the latest data, and it can generate responses from that data also. So we do not have to retrain or update the model. We can provide it latest data and it can work with that.
Got it. All these things, I'm a bit forced to ask, and I would love to know each of your responses. AI is advancing so much, right? डर
Yes.
लगता
अभी तो नहीं है, मतलब देर
है.
आर, अभी तो कुछ साल हैं, कुछ साल तो लग ही जाएंगे। जो डेवलपर्स की जॉब पूरी तरह से लेने में एआई को थोड़ा टाइम तो लगेगा, बट हाँ एडवांसमेंट्स बहुत तेजी से हो रहे हैं।
Exactly.
तब बट यू थिंक कभी ना कभी ले सकते हैं, लाइक मे बी कम कर सकते, बट यू थिंक
Maybe.
any company can run, okay, you think maybe. Any company can run completely without developers. You think that?
नहीं, कंप्लीटली तो
Maybe,
रन शायद नहीं कर पाएगी। हाँ, बट नंबर्स कम हो सकते हैं।
maybe
जनरल
in
कोडिंग
future.
है, मतलब फंक्शन कोई लिखना है, उसके लिए अभी डेवलपर्स हैं कंपनी के पास में। जनरल एक डिव बनानी है, डिव को सेंटर करना है, उसके लिए भी डेवलपर्स हैं। पर फ्यूचर में शायद ये नहीं होगा, ये जॉब तो जा सकती है।
Okay, all right. Soumyadev is pretty certain on maybes that it is possible. I personally started thinking about this. Like previously, I thought creative fields में तो नहीं जाएंगे, but फिर realize वो creative fields में सबसे ज्यादा जा रहा है.
क्रिएटिव में तो
Writing, editing, designing. Then you started asking that okay, logical thinking में maybe नहीं जाएंगे, जहाँ algorithms के बारे में सोच रहे हैं.
Yeah.
But Devin is like इट वाज अ बिट लाइक आई थिंक डेविन मतलब कुछ ज्यादा ही उसको ओवर हाइप हो गया था बट फिर भी कुछ हद तक तो खुद के मिस्टेक्स खुद समझ लेता है खुद टेस्ट केसेस लिख लेता है सो इट इज लर्निंग बट वेयर डू यू सी ऑल्सो न्यूअर अपॉर्चुनिटीज बीइंग क्रिएटेड लाइक प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग इज वन एग्जांपल बट व्हाट बियॉन्ड दैट कहीं लग रहा है लाइक अच्छा तुम खुद को कैसे अपस्किल करोगे टू मेक श्योर दैट यू आर रेलेवेंट अहेड because you guys are using AI so much, that's why I think you guys are good people to answer this.
एक्चुअली आई थिंक एआई इन सम टाइम एआई कैन डेवलप अनदर एआई। It can take data from web. There are lot of open source websites. Recently, I think Stack Overflow or some other website is banning AI from
Collaborating with,
training on their data. And
they are
somebody said that
collaborating with
the
ChatGPT.
wrong code or the messy code is helping us to prevent AI from progressing so fast. So AI is a field which in coming years will boom, and it is booming. But newer technologies which has not learned yet, and there are newer things coming every day. I think we have to keep us ourselves updated, and that's the only way to continue in this field.
Got it. Okay. Also, I would like to know, Samiti, from you that you were in a learning mindset previously, right from your college days, and then now, then in Sharpener, and now you finally like implementing your work. Across this entire journey, as a BTech IT professional, do you feel that any preparation that you would have done differently, which would have made you a better developer today? Anything that you want to make sure other people do not make a mistake?
Actually, yes. One thing is that instead of just mugging up the curriculum or other things, your course structure basically in BTech, you should try to keep on implementing that things in real time projects and everything from starting of your college days. That will help you in the best way. I lacked that, I think.
Okay, when you say implementing, can you give an example? Like, what would you have done differently?
Yes, let's say we are studying a subject database. Okay, so now in databases you will learn that we have primary keys, foreign keys, etc., etc. There are tables, we store data in that. But if you will just learn that, it will not help you. You have to write the SQL commands. You have to do keep checking questions and solving that. If you will not do that, you can't help it. Some other guy who is keep on grinding those things, he will surely go ahead of you. So that's what I can best tell about that.
Okay, and Kuldeep, a reverse question to you, because I'm pretty sure you had the opportunity to make a lot of mistakes because, like, it was a fresh thing for you. I'll ask you in it in a different way. What was the thing that helped you the most to learn fast and learn effectively?
Uh, to learn fast, it was availability of ample amount of DSA questions. I think learning a new programming language was the toughest part, and it was beginning for me. There were
Mm-hmm.
various different questions available on Sharpener, and I also did lead code along with that. and that was the I think most helpful part. Then the projects I
Mm-hmm.
did, the maximum the expense tracker app. I did a lot of work on that, and it covers almost everything that is done in the industry. So the projects and the DSA, I would say these are the two things that helped in the most to learn quickly and learn faster. Also, all I would like to add one thing that when I joined in Pluto's one, there was one thing which I found myself weaker. I should have learned that better, which was the Git or GitHub. On Sharpener, we usually make one branch and we keep pushing our code to that branch and we publish that and all that. But in industry, we have to make new branches, we have to merge, we have to make a pull
Mm-hmm.
request and all that. So and all this using the CLI. I was not from programming background, so I didn't learn that. And during Sharpener, I was pushing my code using the GUI, which was on VS Code. So I had
Mm-hmm.
to learn that in after I was appointed to Pluto's one. It did not take long, but yes, I think I should have learned that earlier. So yeah, that's it.
Got you. All right. Okay. Excellent session, Kuldeep and Somidev. I think I hope like you guys also help each other moving forward. If you guys overlap with projects, and the next time, like whenever you get a chance, like you'll have a lot of experience. AI will also advance a lot, and I think Somyata will also find maybe a better place also to live if he's not happy with his current place. And that time, like we'll have a nice in-person session on how it has been working in Plutus or wherever you guys are at that point of time.
Okay, sure.
All right. Thanks a lot, both of you.